The following is just a few tips on how to use the spreadsheet a little bit more effectively from a lead generation perspective. First thing, I'd make sure that the filters are turned on the first row. Things I like to do would be to lock the top column, so you can come into your view area and then select the field lock. So I just had to change this here, and freeze first pane is something that I might do, and freeze panes, freeze top row. That way, when I'm scrolling up and down, I can see what's going on. The other thing I might do is add some description here. Over here, I might put a description, add an extra field, description, and then I would probably come over here and I would maybe add another one called rating. And the reason we're going to do that is with one, we could probably collect more data once we start using the LinkedIn. Make sure after you've added those extra rows that the filter's on for all of them, because if it's not, then you can really screw up your data afterwards. So go data filter. And then, so now you've got the foundation of the spreadsheet set up. I would keep each company separate. There's a lot of contacts that on the spreadsheet that you're not going to want to use, and that's why we have the rating and the description. We're going to try and find some people that we think are hot, that we want to be able to focus on, and then we could potentially limit the other people that we don't want. When we scan down, we see there's lots of different contacts, and we've got some location data here as well. For you, one of the things that I would do maybe is to say, okay, we come down and we can sort or do a pick list here, and then I would pick areas that are up in your region, and then say, okay, so there's Fort St. John, there's Grand Prairie, and then I would say, okay, let's take a look at these guys, and then when I look at the ratings, because we want to limit this down, I might put in there hot or whatever we want to do, and then I can scan and bring all these guys down here like this, go back later and kind of review these people. But these are people that I know that are up in your area that I might want to talk to. I can come back to the mailing city. A lot of them we don't have the mailing city for, so there's going to be more contacts on the sheet than what we have there, but that is one of the things. The other thing I would do is I'd use the Control F and use that to try and look for the keywords that you're looking for. So things like drilling, completions, construction, purchasing. And, I can come down and I can look at the different ones, and I might say, okay, here's a drilling completions administrator. And then again, I could come in and I could update that particular person as hot, just trying to summarize all the different ones that we want. The other thing I would do is as we come down here and we take a look at some of them, I had looked at one a little bit earlier and I had copied their name, and I forget exactly who it was off the top of my head. But if I come over to here to my Facebook, or to, so it was Warren. And what I see with Warren is he's given me a tremendous amount of information about him as an individual. So I'll go ahead and I'll go back to the spreadsheet here, and I'll use that Control F and say, okay, let's look for Warren's contact information. And then I'll say find, and there's Warren. I'll highlight his row, and then I'll come back to the LinkedIn and I'll copy all of this stuff, because this is incredibly valuable information. He's telling you kind of roles and responsibilities. You can use this when you are reaching out to him to help you with some of the conversations that you might be having with him as an individual. And I'll just copy this for right now. And we come back here to the spreadsheet. And when I built that description field, I would go in there and I'd hit Control V, and I would put in the description related to Warren on that side of it. So that didn't actually work out for me. So I'll come back again and come up to the top, go Control V, and now all of that information's there. And we can come in and take a look at it. So yeah, so that's what I would do to this particular spreadsheet. Is I'd want to narrow it down as it relates to the individuals that I'm looking for. and I would want to say, go through the process of rating them. So I can come in and say, okay, which are the ones that I'm most interested in? And once I've done that, I can go in also and collect a lot of this information that I have with regards to what we get off of LinkedIn. And then by the end of it, I should have a pretty good spreadsheet with what I would do with the spreadsheet is I would definitely be rating all these guys hot. So, example with Warren here, we come in here and we say, okay, I'm going to rate Warren out as hot. And so bring that back here and then hot. And then what I would do at that particular point, when I'm done working through the spreadsheet, we could sort it out like this, and then I would add a new tab at the bottom. And then I would say, call it the hot tab. And then I would copy all the ones that I've done that are hot, and then I would take those and I would address those as put those into the hot one. And this is the sheet that I would work off of. I would follow this on every single one of the spreadsheets that I give you and keep each one of them separate. And then ultimately, when you start reaching out to these people, you can add comments in here and you can start logging your comments associated to the conversations that you're having with these people. And then what I would be doing is this is now going to be set up from a data structure that you can add that to a CRM anytime that you want.